What's up, East Middle School students? Mrs. Olinga here. Super excited to see you guys today on day 2 of middle school. Today, I need to talk to you because tonight is our first high school game, football high school game. The Harrisburg High School Tigers, roar, play the Jefferson Cavaliers, boo. And I hope to see all of you at the game because I'm going to be there. And I want to see you there too. But here's the deal. There are some rules for coming to high school events. And sometimes kids show up and act a little bit ridiculous. And then I get cranky and it kind of ruins the game. So, wanted to preload you with the positive expectations that we have for the games. Here they are. Number 1, we expect you to have respectful behavior, meaning you're being sportsmanlike, you're cheering for the team, you're not taunting the other team, you're not insulting them, but also you're respectful to each other and you're respectful to any staff at the game. Number 2, you need to stay in the designated areas. So there is a middle school section. It is at the south end of the football field. There are bleachers there, so you need to be in the bleachers. They should not sit. You guys should not sit in the high school section. You should not go to the opponent's side of the field. You can sit in the general spectator seating that is not monitored by us. However, you need to sit with an adult. Number 3, you got to follow the same rules you follow when you're here, or the rules that are set by any of the hosts. So maybe you go to Howard Wood Field, or maybe you go to Mitchell and watch a game. Got to follow the rules there. You still got to follow dress code. You still need to be respectful. Any disrespectful behavior is not tolerated. You cannot bring, getting a phone call, you cannot bring any unauthorized items. This usually means like footballs and basketballs. You can't be throwing any balls around. But that also means you can't bring signs. You can't bring alcohol, drugs, weapons, or any other items that could be disruptive. You can't bring noisemakers. I did this because doot doot. Can't do that. You got to listen to the security and the staff. There will be SRO officers there. There will be principals and athletic directors there. So you need to follow the instructions that they give. They're there to ensure that we're safe and orderly. And if you're not following their instructions, then there will be consequences. Like I said, there are bleachers there. You need to stay seated. If there is a grassy area, I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to let you sit on the grassy areas. You need to sit in the bleachers. You need to stay seated during the game, especially when the ball is in play. You cannot stand or sit in the walkways. It's a safety issue, so we've got to be seated in the bleachers. Can't throw anything. I know we talked about not bringing any balls or anything, but this includes like garbage, popcorn. We aren't throwing anything at each other in the spectators area or onto the field. Walkways need to be kept clear. No smoking or vaping. That will be handled directly by authorities because you guys are not of an age to be using those substances. So do not bring them and do not use them. You've got to use the trash receptacles, garbage. We do require middle school students to clean up the middle school area before the end of the game. When you are asked to do that, the expectation is that you do it and don't just walk away. Be mindful of your language. You got to use the same appropriate language at a game that you use at school. So no profanity, no offensive language. We expect that you're respectful to players and officials, no heckling, no taunting. Avoid being distracting. We talked about no signs. That's actually a rule by the South Dakota Athletic Association. You obviously can have your cell phone there. However, there are still the same rules at school that exists at the football game. You should not be airdropping photos. You should not be taking photos or videos without people's permissions. You should not be sending inappropriate things. So if those things happen, again, we will be handling those following the school discipline matrix. Make sure that you stay on the correct side of the barriers, which means you're in the safe zones. You don't cross the fence. You don't go into the field. And make sure you're just respecting the private property of the school, the campus that we're at. We do utilize a warning system. Supervisors do have the right and the authority to remove you from a game. So if you're not following expectations, you are going to be given a warning. That's your first warning. You might get a second warning. That's number 2. And just so you know, there is not a third warning. After warning 2, your behavior is still not meeting expectations, you will be escorted out of the game and expected to be picked up by a parent. We will or may follow up with consequences at school, depending on the behavior that exhibited at the game. We are super excited to see you at the game. We really want to see you at the game, but it's a privilege, and you don't get to just show up and act like a fool. You do need to show up and act like a great East Middle School student that you are, and make Mr. Fessler and myself and all of your teachers so proud to be part of our school. And so you gotta hold up your end of the bargain and be the best. And the best, it's not easy being the best. You still have to be awesome everywhere you go. So I hope you have an enjoyable experience, and like we like to say, go Tigers.